Today we're bringing out the big guns. Some things I learned in neuropsychology school, not really, no, UMass Amherst, but also throughout life. I studied neuropsychology, but like, let's leave that to the side for now. Um, Motivation. How do you stay motivated when you're changing your habits, you're doing something hard, and you don't really like it? Let me explain to you how motivation works. All right. You get really pumped up. All right, I'm not going to tell you about any brain stuff, so you can like log off now if you're thinking I'm going to talk about neurotransmitters and all that. I might. But you get really pumped up because something happens. An event happens in your life that tells you you need to change. Now, oftentimes, if people are watching this, it's because the bottom fell out in your finances. Your bills were more than your income. You either got evicted or you're getting calls for collections. Something has happened in your life, and you realize you need to change and get on top of your finances. That's usually it when people come talk to me. And or you got an inheritance or something big happened in your life and you need to change what you're doing, right? So that creates this, oftentimes it's a fear-based motivation toward a change in your life. For me, it was that I had too many payments. I had 18 different student loans and I now had a car loan. I was making 31 and some change $1,000 a year. Uh, this was like 12 years ago. It was not very much money. I was living in the parsonage of my church, paying utilities, uh, and I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up. At the time, I was a black and white, all or nothing kind of person. And I thought, all right, I'm going to get this debt out of my life. So I thought I could do it on my own. No problem. A lot of people do. I can do it on my own. So I put together a budget, cash flow sheet, and everything I had left over, I sent to my loans. I was really excited. I paid off a Perkins loan. I was down from 18 loans to 17 loans plus car loan. And then I started losing my memory. I was doing worse at work. I started losing my hair. I was tired all the time, and I had no idea what was going on with me. So I called up a doctor. I didn't even have a PCP because I couldn't afford to go to the doctor. Uh, I called up a doctor and said, this is what's going on. Can you help me? Went in, did a bunch of blood tests I knew that I couldn't afford. And within 24 hours, they called me and the doctor was on the phone. This is abnormal. Doctor was on the phone and said, I don't know how you're standing right now. You are deficient in every single vitamin and mineral except for iron and vitamin C. It was either vitamin C or calcium. I actually can't remember because I was losing my memory. Anyway, it was one of those. It had a C in it. And she said, you need to take this prescription multivitamin right now, every day, and supplemental vitamins D and B12 because those are severely deficient. I don't know how you're standing right now. That was my wake up call. I was sacrificing my health for financial stability. That's not a seesaw you should be willing to create. Okay. So I had my health bottom out because I was putting financial stability because I thought I didn't have a choice. I wasn't thinking outside the box. That was my wake up call, that I had to be, well, financially stable and healthy while I was doing it. Okay. So this is how motivation works. You get the motivation to change because something happens, and then you start diving into it. And at this point, you're really excited. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know how hard it's going to be, but you're doing it, right? You're taking the steps. You're taking the steps. And then the motivation, as you're taking the steps, it gets harder and harder and harder. And the motivation starts going down and down and down. And it becomes a slog, and you're grinding and you are doing it. And this is the point where a lot of people just quit and they say, whatever, it's too hard. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going back to my old way of life because that felt good. I at least knew what I was going to get. Whatever, I'm going to be like my parents or my friends who declare bankruptcy every 7 years. That's a thing that happens. I'm just going to do it the old way, the way that I know how, because I know at least I feel good. I hear that often. And that's because they got to the bottom. And instead of slogging it out and finding some successes little by little, we're human. We are not computers. We're human. Instead of finding those successes little by little and building their motivation back up in the right direction, they abandoned ship at the bottom of their motivation curve and said, I'm going to feel good over here. Now that's a response that, okay, I'm going to get into it. That's a response that your brain is conditioned to give you. Okay, your brain is a predictive machine. I shouldn't call it a machine. We're not machines. Your brain is a predictive organ. And when life gets hard and you don't feel good, it fights you and tries to get you to feel good again. And how does it know how to feel good? It relies on your past. It relies on everything that's happened to you from birth until now. What made you feel good then? And it fights you, any change you're trying to make, so that you can feel good. All it wants is to feel good again. Okay? So when you're at that bottom in your motivation, in your change, in your life change, and it is hard and you feel awful, you have to carry through. Now, you will start getting successes. You will start paying off some of those small debts. You will start winning, in your mind, thinking that you're winning again, and actually on paper, right? You'll start to make some progress. And then that progress will cause you to feel happy. And remember, your brain is a predictive muscle. You're now building new algorithms, if you will. You're now building new history. So your brain has something else to rely on. Oh, it felt good to pay off that debt. Oh, it felt good to stick to my budget. Oh, it felt good to reward myself for making financial progress. Oh, it felt good to do this and that and pay off that next debt and have an emergency fund. Oh, it felt good to give money away. That's actually my money and not the credit card's money because I owe money anymore. It felt good in the right direction. That's how motivation works. That's how the human brain works in terms of motivation and building new habits. You have to slog through the hardest parts in order to get the right motivation history, the right feel-good history to make the right decisions for the rest of your life. It's not easy. That's why a lot of people bring in a friend to help, bring in a coach, a mentor, somebody who has been there before, who is willing to walk with you through it, who can accelerate that curve, right? So you can start seeing successes and lower the chance of you quitting. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learn from this and you get through your motivation, any change you're trying to make. If you're losing weight, if you are getting financially healthy, if you are making a change in your career, it's that grind and slog, that motivation curve, right? I kind of think of it as a smile, right? Two eyes, and anyway, to keep it simple, right? And just keep it simple for myself, and then you can remember. I hope this helped. Like, share, subscribe. Shoot me any questions. Go ahead and put them right down there in the comments. I'm happy to answer. I'm happy to help you. If you need any more help, go to saverstreet.com, schedule a time to talk to me. We'll make sure that you get the help that you need to get through your motivation curve, to get through your life change. Talk to you soon. Bye.